Well, they say it comes in threes, which isn't great news for a cruise line that's had 3 cruise ships with norovirus outbreak this year, this time impacting a whole lot of people. We also have a story of 2 blind cruisers being kicked off a cruise ship for being blind. Carnival, they've done a thing they've never done before, and they've named a godfather for one of their cruise ships. And well, there's a dude that has to pay a fine for having cannabis on a cruise ship. Plus, why did I eat KFC? Why KFC in Glasgow? Cruise news, my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. And I'm currently on the sea, on location on the Regal Princess, making my way to the Orkney Islands. I'm on day 8, day 8 of my British Isles cruise. And I know some out there have taken exception to the name British Isles Cruise. That's just the name that Princess gives it to describe the cruise. There's stops in multiple countries that aren't a part of the British Isles. We've been to the UK, been to Scotland, been to Ireland. We're going to France later on. So please don't let that name bother you. That's just the descriptor of the cruise. And I use it so anybody that's interested in this itinerary that I've been on, they know how to search for it. So yeah, don't let yourself get offended, because it's not. I don't think that moniker is being used in a way to be offensive. All right, cruise news story number 1. It is being reported that there was a norovirus outbreak on the 10-day Bermuda cruise on the Celebrity Summit from May the 15th to May the 25th, 2023. 152 passengers became ill, 25 crew members became ill, all showing signs of the stomach bug that we know as norovirus. All the things that come with the stomach bug, you can fill in the blanks there. These were the symptoms that the people were having. Of course, this has to be reported up to the CDC and their vessel sanitation program. They have come over and they have investigated. Celebrity has released a statement saying that they take safety and security at the highest priority and that they're doing cleaning. However, this is the 3rd occurrence of an outbreak of norovirus on a Celebrity ship this year. There were 2 ships in March that had issues. The Celebrity Equinox back in March had 122 cases among the passengers and 14 cases among the crew. And the Celebrity Constellation had 87 passengers in March with the norovirus and 9 crew members with the norovirus. I guess my commentary on this is, if we can be brutally honest, people's hygiene kind of not great. You see a lot of people just saunter into the eating areas, the buffet, the main dining. They don't wash their hands. You see people leave the restroom without washing their hands. The way to keep norovirus off cruise ships, to keep norovirus low, is to practice good hygiene. We don't do a great job of it as a cruising community. I'm surprised that we don't hear more instances of this. Ironically, it is on the cruise ship where I feel like my stomach is the most challenged. I feel like I have more issues that way than anywhere else. So there may be something to it. I think the thing that we all need to do is continue to step up and have good hygiene. But man, Celebrity, 3 ships this year that have made the CDC's radar. There's plenty of other ships out there that have had cases of norovirus. So I don't think it's a Celebrity only issue. They are certainly going through their cycles, making sure that their procedures are good and that everything is getting clean. But yeah, they made the news. How about that? It comes in threes. Let's talk hygiene for a second. Some of the interesting commentary I got from kissing the Blarney Stone is a lot of people said, well, you know that the locals, they like to go and go number 1 on the Blarney Stone so that the tourists will kiss it, and that's a funny thing. That could be true. Honestly, that could be true. But the amount of effort that you would have to go through to go up to the Blarney Stone and to go number 1 on it, it seems fantastical. I mean, honestly, again, they sanitize the thing, a few times a day, that kind of thing. But I think that this story about people, going number 1 on the Blarney Stone, There's a gate that you would have to get through. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that during operational hours. They're not going to be like, oh, hold the line. We got a local here that wants to go number 1 on the Blarney Stone. And we're going, okay, let's go let him go. So they would have to come in after hours. Again, it's a gate. And then, people are saying, oh, yeah, they like to have a few pints at the pub. And then, so we're suggesting that intoxicated locals are going to somehow get into the Blarney Castle grounds, ascend the stairwell, and... Look, if that's what you want to believe that. Maybe it's true, again, but that's the way it is. I'm glad I kissed the Blarney Stone. I had the stones to kiss the stones. How about that? Cruise News story number 2 is a little bit of a challenging story. We have 2 blind travelers, friends traveling together, but there's no sighted people traveling with them. They booked a cruise through TUI, the travel agency. TUI also owns some cruise ships. They told the people at TUI that, hey, we're blind. And TUI said, that's cool. You're going on a P&O cruise. They got Braille on the room. They got Braille menus. You should be okie dokie. Well, when they got on their P&O cruise, when it became very obvious that these folks were blind, the crew members on the P&O Ventura said, whoa, wait a minute. You cannot travel by yourself blind. And they put them off the cruise ship. This all occurred on embarkation day. The cruise ship never left port. Now, the story from the 2 friends in question is that they were treated very poorly. They weren't even allowed to use the toilet. Toilet is a word that's used a lot here that's not necessarily used the same way in the United States. They were not allowed to use the toilet. They were treated poorly. And then on top of that, they were told that they were not able to autonomously travel like everyone else. Statement from P&O says, look, it is what it is. We are trying to keep everybody's safety at the highest most. And, unfortunately, we're not allowing these passengers who are unsighted, who are blind, to travel by themselves. The thing that sucks about this story is rule or no rule, whether or not if you're, by yourself and you're blind that you're not allowed to cruise, they should make that clear to you on the front end. You shouldn't have to go through the embarrassment, the hassle. Hopefully TUI, whoever booked them on their cruise, hopefully P&O, they'll find a better way to, catch this kind of thing or, enforce that rule if that's what they want to do without having these folks go through this challenging and embarrassing situation. I feel bad for the people. What do you think about this one? Leave a comment below. Oh, yeah, and I almost forgot to, guess who's back? Guess who's back? Back again. Passport's back. Tell a friend. Man, somebody lost their mind over on the Carnival brand ambassador John Hield's page. I will never surrender my passport. I'm an American. Look, if you're going to cruise to a foreign country, you have to follow their rules. Or don't do it. How about that? But yeah, look. It's good to be, it's reunited, and it feels so good. It doesn't look any worse for the wear, my passport. All right, back to the show. Cruise News story number 3. Have you heard what Carnival Cruise Line is doing? For the first time ever in the history of the company, they're going to have a godfather, and it's Jay Leno. Jay Leno has been named the godfather of the Venezia, the new cruise ship that will be home porting in New York, which is currently making its way across the Atlantic Ocean. This is Carnival Fun Style or Italian Carnival Style. This is part of their whole dealio where they've taken over some properties from Costa Cruising and they've converted it to a Carnival brand. And in that conversion, they're going to make Jay Leno the godfather. Apparently David Letterman was in the running, but Jay beat him out again. That's not true. Do you guys remember the Late Night Wars? That was a whole thing. But yeah, I guess it's cool. I know that Jay Leno is a big machine head. I think he's a car guy, but I can see him being excited about the mechanics of a cruise ship. Yeah, do you think Jay is a good choice? Or what other comedian do you think would be a good choice for a cruise ship godfather? There's so many jokes there that I probably should not even go into. So I won't. Leave a comment below. We have a cruise passenger getting fined $1,000 for possession of cannabis on board a cruise ship. Guess which cruise line it is? That's right. It's Royal Caribbean. This guest was arrested on Royal Caribbean's Liberty of the Seas. He had 38 grams of the Mary J with him, including some edibles. This passenger was from New York. Apparently, they had eyes on him because when they landed in Bermuda, they brought dogs on board. They found the illegal substances, and he had to stand trial in Bermuda. Said what he had on board had a street value of around $1,500. the court there in Bermuda has fined him $1,000. So it doesn't sound like a hugely severe penalty, but again, it's a reminder that cannabis is not welcome on cruise ships. Don't bring it or you run the risk of getting in trouble. It's like the famous duo Cheech and Chong said, only dopes do dope. Now, let me answer the burning question. Why, when I was at the train station in Glasgow yesterday, did I pop into a KFC for lunch instead of going out into the highlands and slaughtering a lamb and eating it over a roasted pit fire? Well, come on, do the math on this one, folks. If you paid any attention, I had to be back at the hair cuttery in 30 minutes. So that means I had 30 minutes to acquire some lunch. And if you notice where I was right in the middle of the city there. And at that corner, the only options were fast food. And so I decided to just get something real quick. That seems obvious on the front end. The second thing is I was getting ready to embark on a 1-hour train ride. And if you're, maybe everybody isn't like this, but sometimes when you start to introduce things to your system that you're not familiar with, it can mess with your system. At least that's the way it works for me. So the idea of having something that was familiar that I could eat within like 15 or 20 minutes and then go back and get my haircut, it seemed pretty obvious, but it did throw some people for a loop. There were some people that were disappointed. Honestly, if you have that kind of reaction, if you're disappointed in another human being for what they have for lunch, you're probably having a tough time in life. Look, I love you and I mean it, but this is going to be some tough love. If you are disappointed in my lunch choice, you maybe care about me too much. Look, I love you, honestly, I do, and I know that you love me, but don't let my chicken wing selection throw off your whole day. Pull it together out there. Jeepers, do some math, make some sense out of my decision, but surely don't go into a tailspin. Do we need to call somebody for you? It was delicious. I tell you what, it was really nice to just quickly eat lunch and know that it wasn't going to hurt my stomach before I got my haircut. So there you go. Sorry for the tears of the disappointed. Don't cry for me, disappointed. All right, that's the show today. I hope you are doing great. This is Tony from the Regal Princess in the middle of the sea on my way to the Orkney Islands, and we will excursion again tomorrow. What else? Anything? All right. See you on the Lido. Bye.